All right, so for these classes for this week, holiday week, we got Thanksgiving week coming up, and I wanted to work on something fun and different, just change it up, have a little bit of a break from our regular curriculum. So today and this week, we're going to be working on a creative kata. Now, the cool thing about creative kata is that once we learn the basic pattern of the kata, we can start to put in some of our own moves and change it up a little bit. So we're going to start off today, do your own warm-up. So if you're not warmed up, not stretched out, I want you to pause the video right now and just do 5 minutes, do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups, some squats, do a little bit of stretching, get your body moving and your brain awake. And we're going to be learning some different moves in this kata, or moves that we already know, but using them a little bit differently. Creative katas generally move a little bit faster than our traditional katas, and we're going to be focusing on kicking higher and really just kind of pushing ourselves, working on different directions and angles and things like that. But the most important thing is that we have fun this week and enjoy our learning. All right, so we're warmed up, we're ready to go, and the first thing we want to work on in our kata is the combination of hand movements that we're going to start off with. Okay, and we're going to be going to the corners from our starting position. Most of the time in our traditional katas, we start facing forward, and then we immediately start by moving over to the left and then making that eye pattern. We're going to follow that shape, but not necessarily as strictly. All right, in creative katas, we use a lot of angles and corners and things like that. So the first set that we're going to work on today is just using our hands. What I want you to do is cross your arms. I'm going to do it backwards. So I'm going to say left hand on top. If you notice, I'm putting my right hand on top. That's just so that I can do it backwards for you. And the first move that we have is a chop with the top hand. So it's a knife hand strike with the palm facing straight down. The other hand chambers back. All right, and then we're going to go back to that, and we're going to chop just like that, and we're going to do that 5 or 6 times. Ready? Go 1. Put some speed and power into it. 2. It's an easy move, so we don't have to try that hard to learn it. 3, 4, 5. Now with that, we're going to take a step out with the left leg to the left corner and do our chop. So now we're in a good, strong front stance facing the corner. Ready? Step out and chop. And come back up. Ready? Chop. And come back up and chop. And come back up. Make sure you look at your target and chop. Ready? Look at your target. Chop. Hold that front stance right there. And reverse punch to the same target. Now we've got 2 moves. Ready? Step out. Chop. Punch. Reset. Chop. Punch. Reset. Chop. Punch. Reset. Let's do that 2 more times. A little bit more speed and power. 1. And up. And 2. Just like that. Hold that position. We're going to add a 3rd strike to the same target. A spear hand with the palm up. Now a spear hand is striking with the fingertips. So that's going to go to a soft target. The other hand is going to float right above your shoulder. Okay? This target, we're going to take this right to the throat. So we've done a chop, probably to the side of the neck, a punch to the solar plexus, and then a spear hand just a little bit higher, right into the throat, right above the chest. Ready? Starting position, left hand on top in that arms crossed position, and go chop, punch, spear hand, reset. Ready, set, go. Chop, punch, spear hand, reset, and go. 1, 2, 3. Start over. 1, 2, 3. Start over. 1, 2, 3. Start over. 1, 2, 3. And up. One more time. Go. Good. Now we've got 2 more moves. These next 2 moves we're going to add really quickly because they're, or 3 moves. Sorry. The next one is that hand on the shoulder is chopping next. Let's stick with that for a minute. Ready? Go. Chop, punch, spear hand, chop, and start over. Left hand chop, right hand punch, left hand spear hand, right hand chop again, and up. Ready? And chop, punch, spear hand, chop, and up. And this should all be going to the left corner. Okay, if you're backwards, flip your video settings to get it to go the other way, or just make sure you're focusing and using, and you're going to the left. I'm going to my right so that I can show you the moves in the camera backwards. Ready? And chop, punch, spear hand, chop, reset. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and up. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and reset. And now let your shoulders move a little bit. Keep your feet still once you hit the front stance, but let your shoulders do the work in the strikes. Ready? Chop, punch, spear hand, chop. Now let's add on 2 more punches, a lunge punch and a reverse punch without moving. Ready? Hands here, and chop, reverse punch, spear hand, chop, straight punch, reverse punch, reset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up. Ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up. Ready, set, go. Just like that. Those are super, it's a super quick 6-strike combo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you're opening and closing the hands correctly for the strikes. I'll give you a little bit more of a close-up view here. It's chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch, and reset. Let's do that 2 more times, and then we will move on to the next set of moves. Cross your arms, chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch, reset. 1 more time. Chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch, and reset. Very good. Shake out your arms. Take a quick 10-second break if you need to. You can always pause the video, take a break whenever you need to get a drink or stretch something out. Right? That's the good thing about recorded classes is you can stop it wherever you need to and come back and pick it up right where you were. Okay, now our next move is going to go to the opposite corner. So we went to the front corner here. We're going to go to the front corner on the right side next. You're at your reverse punch here. What I want you to do next is cross your arms again. This time the right hand is on top. And we're going to start with a right chop. Now the next move is a left ridge hand strike here. Now a ridge hand strike is striking with the side edge of the hand above the thumb. You're not hitting with the thumb, so make sure your thumb is put away like that. You're hitting with the space in between the bottom of your finger and your wrist right above there. So we're at our reverse punch with the right hand to the left corner. Cross our arms, chop, and ridge hand. Ready? Go back to your punch. Cross your arms, chop, and ridge hand. Go back to your punch. Cross, chop, ridge hand. Punch, cross, chop, ridge hand. Back to your punch 2 more times. Cross your arm, chop, ridge hand. Now with the ridge hand, we're going to add a step. So from the punch, we cross our arms, we chop to the corner, we step and ridge hand. The right leg comes around backwards and we chop back behind us again. All right, so again, watch from here. Punch, chop, ridge hand, spinning chop. Okay, ready? Go back to your punch. Cross your arms. Chop, ridge hand, spinning chop, landing in a front stance. Very good. And go back to your punch in that corner. Cross your arms. Chop, ridge hand, spin chop. Add on a punch. Ready? 1 more time, and then we'll take it all the way from the beginning to that section. Go from your punch, cross your arms, chop, spin chop, or spin ridge hand, then chop at the end of your spin. Reverse punch to finish. Now from the beginning, here's what that looks like. Our feet are apart, are just about shoulder width, like a ready position. Left hand on top. Chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch. Cross your arms, chop, ridge hand, spin, chop, reverse punch. Right there, nice job. From the top, let's do that again. Feet apart, hands up, crossed in front of you, and chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch. Cross your arms, chop, ridge hand, spin, chop, punch, and up. Ready? Let's do it again. Crossing the arms, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 moves, 11 strikes, and counting in there, including that arm cross, just to make sure that we don't skip it. Here we go again, cross the arms, and chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch, cross, chop, ridge hand, spin, chop, punch, and reset. Awesome job. Ready? Here we go. We're going to keep doing this over and over and over again to make sure we get it just right. And then in just a minute here, we're going to stop and work on the footwork. Make sure we're getting the feet exactly right. Chamber here, or starting position, arms crossed, left arm on top, and chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch, cross, chop. Make sure you look, ridge hand, spin, chop, and punch. Very good. Let's do that one more time together. Cross your arms. Step to the left corner with your left foot. Left hand chop, right hand punch, left hand spear hand, right hand chop. Left punch, right punch, cross your arms, right hand on top. Right chop, left ridge hand, step, spin, chop, punch. Just like that. Okay, now let's focus on the feet and the footwork positioning for those steps. So what I want you to do is just put your hands behind your back. Okay, and let's make sure our feet are shoulder width apart. We're in a ready position type stance with our hands behind our back. This is just so we can focus on the footwork and the stances. Left foot to the front corner, front stance. And then we stay there for those first 6 moves. Then we do the chop to the right side. Make sure you look. We pivot. We take a small step, putting your foot in basically right next to, kind of a little bit in front of the right foot. The right foot goes around backwards out to a front stance. And that's our second position. Okay, so we've done 11 strikes or 10 strikes and only 2 stances. So that means we're not moving our body a lot. We're focusing on our arm speed to make this kata look cool and fast in the very beginning. Left step to the front corner. And then bring that left foot in. Turn. And take the right foot out to your front stance. Now the bigger your steps and the faster you do the spin, the cooler it's going to look. All right, so if we come here and we just go here and then we go, that's not going to look super awesome. All right, what we want to do is we want to come in here, go front stance, and then when we're ready for that spin, bend the back knee just a little bit. So you come in, we want to keep the head level, and we're going around and stepping. So what I like to do is from my front stance here, I bring this foot up, I pick this one up, and I pivot all the way around on that one foot and sink down into my front stance with my chop. All right, now we're going to do that and put the hands and the feet together. Ready, feet apart, hands are crossed up right above your chest. Chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch, cross, chop, ridge hand, spin, chop, punch, and hold right there. Very good. Let's do that one more time. Cross your arms and chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch, cross your arms, chop, ridge hand, spin, chop, punch. Very good. And eyes are always on your target, and focused on your balance, your target, and your strikes all together. Awesome job. So when we do this fast, it's going to look something like this, and we go. And we're going to add on some ki-eyes now. In our traditional katas, we only yell typically one time per kata. In creative katas, you get to yell whenever you feel like it. Really, you do. So if you feel like throwing in a yell, you just throw it in. Okay? I'll give you a couple of key points where I think we should yell, and then after that, if you feel like making other noises, you just go for it. All right, so here we go. Now, ready position. We're going to add our salutation just to make sure that we know it's one of our katas. Bow. Karate is my secret. I have no weapons. I come in peace. And then to get to that ready position or starting position, we're going to drop our hands down, make a big circle as we step out, come up, make an X in front, and then just lower them down to right in front of your chest. And now step out, chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch, cross, look, chop, ridge hand, spin, chop, punch, and up. All right, let's add in some yells, some ki. Ready position, attention, bow, salutation, and circle, hands in front, feet apart. Chop, punch, spear hand, chop, punch, punch, cross your arms. Chop, ridge hand, spin, chop, punch. Good. Oh, and we forgot to add in the ki-eyes. So let's talk about where do we want ki-eyes? What are ki-eyes in a kata? Ki-eyes are exclamation points. Remember that one of the things our kata is an encyclopedia of our self-defense. That's a book or a reference book of our self-defense. Okay? And so we're telling a story about a fight or a self-defense situation that's happening. And when you're telling a story, you're using language. Our language, in the case of kata, is the actual moves. And what we see happening in our head is the story. Okay, so our ki is an exclamation point, right? We want to get the people who are watching our kata, we want to get their attention, make sure they're looking at us and listening and really hearing our story that we're trying to tell through our kata. We're at our arms crossed. We're going to go chop, punch, ki, spear hand, chop, punch, punch, ki. So that's 2 ki-eyes in the first set. We're going to go from here and go chop, okay, and make noise, make weird noises. It doesn't matter. We're just having fun with this kata. So don't have to be super serious. Cross your arms, chop the other way, and spin, chop, super loud yell on that end as well. All right, one more time. Ready position. Attention, bow, salutation, and circle, starting position. Chop, ki, spear hand, chop, punch, ki, cross your arms, chop, ridge hand, spin, chop, and last ki, hold there. Very good. Ready position. All right, now in the next class, we're going to add on a middle section to this. Okay, so make sure I want you to take, these are going to be shorter videos than normal, because what I want you to do now is I want you to go back to the beginning, start over, and just practice it and practice it and practice it. Because even though it's a creative kata, it's still a kata. All right, and kata means to practice repetitiously, over and over and over again, so that you don't have to think about it. All right, One more time, and I'm actually going to turn around and show you what it kind of looks like from the side view, not the rear view, because you're not going to see any of the hand movements, but I want you to see it from the side view, and I'm going to do it the correct way, starting with my left hand, so don't get confused by that when I'm suddenly switching sides. From right here, it's just like that, okay? Nice and easy. All right, awesome job, everybody. Ready position, student creed. I will persevere when things are difficult. I will apply my energy to worthwhile activities. I will choose to keep a positive attitude. I will seek knowledge in all situations. I will achieve my peak potential. All right, now do not move on to the second video of the creative kata until you have this part memorized. Doesn't do any good to move on to the next part if you can't add it on to the first part. Awesome job, everybody. Bao, domo arigato. Happy Thanksgiving.